All right, let's get directly into audience questions for the week. First one is one I've gotten from a lot of people. What happens to Donald Trump's adult children once he's out of office? The answer will depend on things we don't yet know. We've talked about the possibility that some of Trump's children might run for office. We've talked about the possibility that Trump's children or children-in-law would, for example, run for Senate, as Lara Trump is reportedly thinking about doing in North Carolina. They may go back to private industry. They may be really tied up with investigations for some time. And that is why Donald Trump has reportedly been considering preemptive pardons for them. What we do know is that their sort of reentry into private life is not going to put them back where they were before this entire presidential fiasco. For example, in New York City, wanted signs have been showing up for Ivanka and Jared Kushner, except they say not wanted. They are not welcome back in New York City. And there have been some interesting articles written about how they are not likely to be sort of like reaccepted into the left-leaning New York City social scene. I don't feel bad for them at all, but it is interesting. And recent news is that Jared and Ivanka have recently purchased a multi-million dollar, actually report is $30 million plot of land somewhere in Florida to build some kind of estate. So I think that how this all shakes out is not going to be known until we see the full resolution of how Donald Trump is ultimately going to sort of go out. Is he going to eventually concede and attend Joe Biden's inauguration and act like an adult? Is he going to go to Mar-a-Lago for Christmas and never come back to the White House and not attend the inauguration? And then subsequently, how tied up will Donald Trump, his family, and his businesses be on the basis of investigations? It's not just the Southern District of New York that is reportedly preparing a number of different investigations into possible wrongdoing by Trump and his family. There are other investigators and state prosecutors as well. So I think we're simply not going to know. Now, the other possibility that's been floated is that the future of Trump's children is in media, as media hosts. To be perfectly frank, I see that as very unlikely. I think if the future of the Trump family is in media, it would be this idea of Trump starting some kind of media outlet, an alternative to Fox News, more in the line of the conspiratorial rantings of outlets like Newsmax and OAN. But it's really unclear whether Trump actually has the appetite for that. And it's really not clear that Trump is going to have the appetite. I mean, listen, when narcissists lose, it is very demoralizing, and they always come up with some excuse, right? Trump will rationalize his loss with, it was rigged and stolen, plus I had the pandemic, which was just a timing thing, and if it weren't for the pandemic, I definitely would have won. Every narcissist with delusions of grandeur will not rationalize losing so that it's not really losing, but it can often completely take the wind out of their sails. And listen, Trump's 74, and it looks like he moved his legal residence from New York to Florida. There's every indication that he's going to be doing a lot of golfing. We may not see him do much, and it's possible his kids won't do that much either. It's very tough to tell. We will follow it, and we will know more before you know it. If you ever feel like you just don't have enough time to read all the books you want to read, you have to check out one of my favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist takes thousands of popular nonfiction books and distills each one down into an ebook or audiobook that you can get through in just 15 minutes, where you're getting all the key takeaways from the book. Just imagine how you'll be able to expand your horizons and knowledge by being able to soak up all of the important insights from 10 different books in an afternoon. Obviously, it's perfect for exposing yourself to a new book you otherwise wouldn't have time for, or you can use it to revisit a book you've already read, or use it to preview a book before you buy the full version and read it. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.